Chapter 42. The Battle for Earth. The Drixarian fleet, unaware of the approaching Space Lord's armada, continued its ominous advance towards Earth. The fate of the planet hung in the balance, with only Nakia and Lysander's ships helplessly waiting for the rest of the armada. The Space Lord's armada, a formidable assembly of ships and warriors, emerged from the portal into their home system, only to confront a harsh reality of cosmic warfare: the time distortion between galaxies. This time, a day had elapsed since their departure, a critical period that had given the Drixarians a significant head start in their invasion of Earth. Cora, standing strong in the command center, grappled with the implications of this temporal disparity. As conscripts under Drixarian rule, time had been an irrelevant concept, a mere backdrop to their endless battles. But now, as free beings fighting for their home and future, every second held profound significance. The realization that they had lost a day was a heavy blow. The Drixarians, with their unimpeded advance, had established a strong foothold in the system. Earth, the cradle of humanity and the symbol of the rebellion's struggle, was under siege. Cora's methodically assessed the situation. The throne room portals, their strategic advantage for rapid deployment, were blocked, nullifying their plan for a surprise counterattack. She knew they had to adapt quickly to the changing battlefield. Cora, aware of the pressure of the situation, swiftly instructed her communications officer to establish a quantum link with Rook. As the connection solidified, she wasted no time. "Rook, report your status. Where are you?" Rook's response was immediate, tinged with frustration. "We're still in the nebula, Cora. Exiting is slower than anticipated. The time distortions and gravitational wells make it impossible to jump safely. We're navigating out manually, but it's a painstaking process." Cora's concern deepened. "Understand. But be aware that our jump to the home system took a day due to time distortion. Time is not on our side, Rook. We need you here as soon as possible." Rook acknowledged the seriousness of her tone. "We're pushing as fast as we can, Cora. We'll be there." With Rook's fleet still en route, Cora turned her attention to Nakia and Lysander, who were already in the Earth system. Establishing a link with them, she conveyed her message. "Nakia. Lysander, I apologize for the delay. The time distortion set us back. Are you ready to get in the fight?" Nakia's voice was unflinching. "We've been ready, Cora. Just give the word." Lysander added, "We've maintained our positions, but it's been tough watching the Drixarians advance. We're eager to turn the tables." Cora, inspired by their readiness, replied, "The word is given. Engage at will. Rook's fleet is still en route, but we can't wait. We'll start the counteroffensive now." Nakia and Lysander acknowledged the order, their ships bristling with anticipation. The time for waiting was over. The battle for Earth was already underway, and they were about to join the fray. "Advance all fleets!" Cora commanded, her voice firm and authoritative. "Engage the Drixarian forces. We cannot let them gain any more ground." The order rippled through the armada, each ship powering up its engines and weapon systems. The Space Lords, despite the setback, were prepared to fight with the ferocity that had become their hallmark. The ensuing battle was a spectacle of lights and explosions, a chaotic dance of advanced weaponry and tactical maneuvers. Cora also activated the Mosquito Squadrons, specialized units equipped for agile and rapid assaults within a planet's atmosphere. These squadrons, named for their ability to swarm and strike with precision, were an essential part of their strategy to disrupt the Drixarian assault on Earth. The Space Lord's ships moved forward while attacking, closing in on the Drixarian fleet that orbited Earth. With the Armada engaged in fierce combat with the Drixarian forces, a new challenge quickly emerged. It was Spartan Commander Leonix who first brought the dire news to Cora's attention. His voice, usually steady and calm, carried a note of urgency over the psychic communication link. "Cora, we have a problem," Leonix reported. "The Mosquito Squadrons are grounded. Something's blocking the portals to Earth. We can't get them through." Cora's mind raced. The Mosquito Squadrons were crucial to their strategy. Without the portals, their ability to attack ground operations was severely compromised. Keep trying to open the portals. I don't know how, but they have found a way to block them, and you need to discover how to unblock them. Cora instructed, her voice firm despite the mounting pressure. We need those squadrons on the ground. In the meantime, work on a solution. We can't afford to lose this advantage. Leonix acknowledged the order. Understood, Warden. We'll do everything we can. As the communication ended, Cora turned her attention back to the broader battle, her mind working through possible solutions. The Mosquito squadrons were essential for their plan to repel the Drixarian invasion, but their ships were not designed to withstand the heat and stress of atmospheric re-entry. Getting them to Earth undetected and intact was a puzzle that needed a rapid solution. An idea began to form in Cora's mind. Could we modify some of the larger ships to carry the Mosquito squadrons through the atmosphere? She mused aloud. It was a risky proposition, but desperate times called for desperate measures. Her team quickly set to work, assessing the feasibility of her idea. Engineers and tacticians collaborated, calculating the stresses and modifications needed for such an endeavor. Time was of the essence, and every moment they spent deliberating was a moment the Drixarians solidified their hold on Earth. With the team working on a solution, Cora's gaze returned to the view screen, watching the ongoing battle. Her fleet fought valiantly, but she knew that the key to turning the tide lay in getting the Mosquito squadrons to the surface. The battle raged on. It became increasingly apparent that the Space Lords were fighting an uphill battle. One by one, strategic elements of their carefully planned attack were being neutralized, leaving them to improvise under less than ideal circumstances. The complexity of the conflict demanded not only physical prowess, but also mental agility and resilience. Cora, standing at the heart of the command center, felt the weight of each setback. The constant updates of their diminishing advantages were disheartening, yet she knew she could not afford to show any sign of despair. The eyes of her crew, her fleet, were upon her, looking for reassurance and guidance in this dire hour. Despite these mounting challenges, Cora maintained her composure, understanding that her reaction would set the tone for the rest of her forces. We knew this wouldn't be easy, she said, her voice steady and clear over the ship's communication system. We're Space Lords, forged in the fires of hell. We've overcome impossible odds before. We'll do it again. Around her, the crew nodded, drawing strength from her unwavering conviction. Cora's ability to remain strong in the face of overwhelming odds was more than just a display of leadership. It was an embodiment of the spirit that had driven the Space Lords since the beginning of their rebellion. On holographic images, the battle unfolded in a chaotic symphony of explosions, laser fire, and strategic maneuvers. Each Space Lord ship, despite being outmaneuvered at times, fought valiantly, defending Earth with a fierce resolve. Cora continued to issue orders, adapting their tactics to respond to the changing dynamics of the battlefield. All ships, focus on protecting key strategic points. We may not have the upper hand, but we can still make every strike count. The situation in Earth's orbit was escalating, each passing moment intensifying the need for decisive action. Cora sought an update on their latest strategy to bypass the blocked portals, modifying their ships for atmospheric re-entry. Status report, she demanded, her voice cutting through the din of the command center. How long until we can deploy the Mosquito squadrons? The engineering team, working feverishly on the modifications, responded with regret. Warden, we're doing everything we can, but it's a complex process. We're looking at a few hours at the earliest to ensure the ships can handle re-entry without disintegrating. Cora's heart sank at the news. A few hours were a luxury they couldn't afford. The battle was reaching a critical point, and every minute that passed without ground support tipped the scales further in favor of the Drixarians. She knew they didn't have the luxury of time. Speed up the process as much as you can, she instructed, her mind racing for alternatives. We need those squadrons on the ground, and we can't wait for hours for a ground attack to commence. Cora turned back to the tactical display, watching the Space Lord's ships engage in a desperate ballet with the Drixarian fleet. The realization hit her that they were approaching a tipping point in the battle, a point of no return where the Drixarians' numerical and positional advantage would become insurmountable.